community COVID case in Australia in the last 4 weeks.
That's
We've
amazing.
only got 20 cases in hospital at the moment, none in ICU, and we've got 32 cases who are all international return visitors who are in isolation in the hotels. So we've been pretty lucky, and we're rolling out the vaccines now. A little bit later than we thought, and a little bit slower than we thought, but doing it carefully seems to be the way to go.
Well, see,
And
I was joking with Evan and Emma and Rebecca that, you know, possibly your solution is that when people go to the hospital, the first thing they do is hook them up to a Foster's beer IV. So I mean,
well,
yeah,
a lot of them turn up pre-medicated.
Yes. If it's Friday or Saturday night, they're heavily medicated. But
yeah, they make sure they get pre-medicated because they're not going to get it in hospital. But no, we've been able to do all the testing. We've been able to get the testing done quickly. But the big thing about Australia, of course, we are a true island.
Yes.
And we only had to shut down maybe no more than 11 international grade airports around the country, and we were locked in. And the same thing happened in New Zealand as well.
Well, and that part has been interesting. Like, I don't know that she'll be able to join us, but Becky over in New Zealand out of Auckland spends, usually would split her time between Fiji and New Zealand, and that's obviously been all on halt. So she's been landlocked to New Zealand. Joel, what's going on down the South Bay there, buddy?
I don't know, not much. Well, I live actually in El Cajon. My buddy, my buddy Bill, he's the one that lives down in the South Bay. He surfs Coronado like every day. I surf Del Mar is one of my favorite spots.
Yep.
I surfed South Mission yesterday and it was really good. I surfed in the afternoon actually.
Oh, very good. It wasn't windy at that point then, huh?
Not as windy as it was East County.
Yes. Yeah, I was in the desert on Monday yesterday, so it was blowing pretty good out there.
Yeah. Warm winds or cold winds?
Cold winds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fortunately, I mean, it's going to get hot. It'll be in the 80s next week at the gold mine that I'm out there at. But yeah, it was starting to get a little windy. Of course, a couple of weeks ago, we had a storm come through, Phil and Joel. I was making the decision, okay, I'll stay in Yuma tonight because I could have gone home, but I looked at the NOAA weather forecast and it was 35 to 45 mile an hour winds in the mountains. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah. Don't want to be driving in that, right?
Yeah, that's not worth it. So very good.
We've had the winds and the rain, and this is this is Australia all over. Today we've got no wind. I got blue sky out there, and we're going to have temperatures in the 90s today.
Oh, beautiful.
And then we're going to have 3 or 4 days of rain and big seas and all that sort of stuff. But the big hassle, of course, with a lot of this is that with the flooding that we've got, is that it all finishes up. Most of it in Australia on the East Coast finishes up on the beaches. Everything that comes down the rivers finishes up on the beaches somewhere.
Gotcha.
So then after the storms finish, the floods all go. We then go back into beach cleanup mode to go and get all the rubbish off the beaches to make them safe again. And it swings a lot of people into action, and seems to be done reasonably quickly and reasonably happy these days. So it's good.
Right. Well, it's wild. I mean, it's already almost 9 o'clock in the morning out there on Wednesday, and just trying to catch up to you guys all the time.
That's good.
So just a little backstory, Joel. Phil and I had connected on social media. Of course, he's a past district governor of Rotary down there in New South Wales. But as it was, we actually got to meet face to face in Toronto, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And so he walks up with his lovely wife, and we were talking. And I said, "Man, I'm just so thrilled to have you on board." He goes, "Well, I'm gonna be a big kahuna." I said, "Yes, you are." Awesome. Here's my buddy Gary Giffen.
Hey guys.
Awesome.
What's up, Gary Bear? You selling some property like candy bars today?
You know it's hot. There you are.
I know. I was inviting Johnny Ferreira on our Degree 33 100-weight team, and he's, of course, him and his dad do real estate, and he goes, "Man, I'm so covered up. I wish I could jump on the Zoom call."
I wish I was covered up.
There you go.
That would be a surfing terminology, right?
Oh, of course, we know that. And so on with us, Gary, this is Joel down in El Cajon.
Hey, Joel.
East County.
Nice.
Go ahead and give them your team name for the 100 Wave Challenge. It is
Oh yeah, we're Team Awesome.
Team Awesome. That's
Yep,
right.
for the win.
For the
Yeah.
win.
That's good.
And then, of course, I've got my buddy Phil White down in Cronulla, Australia. So he's a big kahuna. And that flag over Gary's shoulder is actually what was given to his after the passing of his father, right, Gary?
Yeah, that's Dad's flag right there.
That's it. Awesome. Very good. Working from the home office, it looks like.
Oh yeah, it looks like you're working from your home office.
Yes, exactly. My office in Sorrento Valley, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes, I gotten to the point, and Gary knows this. I've got too many boards to store at the house. I'm starting to line them up here. In fact, my wife had come for a meeting here, and we were on Zoom and whatever. And I walked her out to the car, and I said, "Oh, by the way, I didn't know if you saw that latest board is a Herbie Fletcher. Don't worry, I didn't buy it. I was given that board to see if we can restore it." She goes, "I didn't even notice." Didn't even notice. Phil, you might appreciate this one. Hold on. Actually, I know that Joel will. He likes classics.
Oh, I know which one he's pulling out.
Drum roll, please.
There it is.
Oh man.
Nice. Very nice.
You should keep that one in the background.
All men's rails. Look at that.
What happens when it went through a fire? So we're going to see if we can delam and peel this all off and put together. But this is going to be upside down, but this is the logo. And this is
the top is beautiful.
Show that one to Damien.
Hand painted, and also has some pinning in it. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Wow.
You should show that one to Damien.
Yeah. That guy can surf a cafeteria tray. He doesn't need something that thick. All of us old guys that need something with that much foam. Although I must say, Joel's younger than me. He's got a massive foam on that little twin finny that you were riding the other day, buddy.
Yeah. It's I just found it's just easier. Why work hard?
There you go. We got Mark Chu chiming in from the Canary Islands. What's up?
Oh,
Hey, surf guys. On the line.
I didn't know we were
Mark?
doing video. I'm naked right now. Let me put some clothes on.
Better. That or give me to Miss Lydia so I can say hi to your lovely bride.
Oh man, she is pregnant with our second and not feeling so well.
Wait a minute, we got a new surfer in the lineup?
That's it. I still got it in me. God is a God of miracles.
Hey, I only proved I knew what I was doing, buddy. Congratulations. When's the baby due?
End of October.
Oh, let's go for the 13th of October, could we?
Sure.
That's mine.
All right. We'll pray about it.
There you go. You know what? God will answer that prayer.
that's cool.
Welcome,
Amen.
Phil. All right. And of course, Gary, you should give Mark Chu the update on the shark bands. How you doing with those now that he turned you on to that about 3 years ago?
I still have both legs.
Amen. See, they work.
Exactly.
I don't have the camouflage wetsuit like Mark does, though.
Oh, or the pink sunglasses either.
Yeah, that's clearly just to say Stuttle for the gospel.
That's it. And we got Dalla Diana from Brazil on as well. Oh, you're muted. Go ahead and say hi real quick.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Hi.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
So thanks for the message via WhatsApp. She got her Surfers Unite dry fit shirt that I sent to her the second week of December.
Oh,
The United States Postal Service first class priority mail to Brazil.
Yes.
2.5 months.
It's all the time.
My notebook go down. I just had it.
I was gonna see if you forgot.
Nice.
Somebody just disappeared.
I don't know.
Phil's walking.
Yeah, he's out and about.
Oh, there he is.
I've got some
There you go.
wind.
Yeah,
I'm sure it doesn't look too good from this angle.
Great, nice to have you on.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
Welcome, Jack. JL's on. All right. He must have got enough commercial insurance deals put together. He could jump on for a little.
There we go. Still working, still at the office.
I see it.
But
And Jack, looks like Jack's wearing his narc suit there.
Yeah,
come on, man.
he's got board shorts on with a dress-up collared shirt.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, Mark. Hey, Mark. Do you recognize Jack over there?
I do.
The Delmar 15th Street crew.
Oh yes, the old gang. Yes, I haven't joined that crew in a while, but I hope to do that once I'm back from the Canaries.
That's right.
Done deal.
You get back to San Clemente and come on down the coast, brother. We got the Hurley Pro this year. We're all going to get together in September.
Yeah.
We got to
That's
figure
right.
that out.
WSL finals.
There it is.
Oh, we got some big.
Oops.
Whoops. We lost him.
Yeah, we lost audio on him. I'll
We
send
can't
it.
hear you, Mark.
Oh, good. McKenna. Awesome. And Darren, good to have you guys.
Hello.
What's up, girl?
So
Oh,
much.
look at his repping his Padres cap. We're ready to rock the season.
Exactly. I'm ready for the new season. Feel World Series coming in, guys.
There you go. Right on, my buddy Tiago from Portugal. Looks like. Yep. What's up, Tiago? I think Tiago met Gary as well when he was out, and Jack when he was out here staying with us in 2014.
Oh yeah, I remember Jack. Jack cut him off, so I do remember him.
Oh no way! We all know who cuts people off out there, Gary.
Thank you.
We have video evidence of it.
That one right there.
I think the best picture ever was me taking of Gary taking off in front of Jack Landers, and Gary turns around like full body turns, looks at him, and Jack's still flying down the line on that right.
The best line is, "Hey man, you right behind me?"
Yeah, exactly.
Waves breaking here. Don't be there.
Right on. Welcome, Andrew, from the Bay Area.
Hey, thanks, Brett. Good to see you.
Good to see you, pal. This is a friend of my my brother-in-law's, actually.
Yeah.
Looks like Andrew's got all the wave charts behind him there. Is that all the waves coming in?
Yeah. Market waves.
Awesome.
So Brett, how many more do we have coming in?
Should be over 55 or 60, it looks like. We'll see.
Wow.
We get what we get.
Brett, that's it. I was expecting 800 participants with you.
Sure. No. Try to be selective, but you made the cut.
Thanks, Brett. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, we're stoked to have you guys. We're perfect. So as you guys come in, well, go ahead. Hi, Tiago. What's happening, man? How's my listening brother doing?
Thanks for inviting me.
Oh,
yeah, it's already late here, but all good. And
yeah,
wait
10
for
p.m. out there, yeah?
Exactly.
Right on.
All good there?
Looks like Damien's trying to get in.
Good. Better let him on.
What's up, guys?
Damien.
What's up, Damo?
What's up, Damien?
Yeah.
He looks like he's picking his kids up from school.
Actually, I just wanted to be outside.
There you go.
Just was gonna go hang out. Well, I was gonna go on this pump track once we finished, but I figured the closest I was to it, when we finished, the closer I could get to it.
There you go.
Oh, it's like doing those calls in the surf, you know? Where you're like, if I do my work right at the edge of the surf, then when I finish, I can go out.
That's it.
You know? So that's the game plan.
I like it.
Damo's the smart one. We're all inside except for him.
Right?
Dude, I was inside a bit today, kind of a bit, you know, I got a little antsy, just, you know, when you just like, dude, I got to get outside. I got to get some fresh air. I got to get some movement going on.
The reality, Damo, is when we say we're covered up, we're talking about we're busy at work, not actually covered up in a chair.
Yeah.
We wish we were, but we're covered up that way.
Yeah. Dude, I just got, yeah, you know, and you just need that exercise. Just like, dude, I got to get out and do something. I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way when they closed our beaches here in San Diego back a year ago. That was like, really? I am having to play Frogger in my neighborhood to avoid my neighbors on the sidewalk, and yet the beaches are wide open, and I'm only trying to get across the sand to surf.
This is where the ADD doesn't work so good. When they try to keep you inside, you know.
All right, we got Trev Dog over at Degree 33. Woo! Say hi to Mark Chu.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey guys.
How's it going, boys?
What's up, Trevor? That's good. Right there.
Yeah.
Hey, Trevor, we're all waiting for.
I got a few Degree 33 boards, but there's one in particular I just keep salivating. I can't wait to take delivery of.
Don't forget, Trevor, you invite everyone here to Waco next time you go.
Yeah, bud.
Right on. Well, we're going to get started pronto. Well, and maybe another minute. Give me one more minute just to let a couple more folks funnel through. We've got a couple dozen, expecting at least 55 to 60. And, you know, I'm really thrilled that you guys made it. I will mute us all in a little bit when we get things rocking and rolling. We will be throwing some shakas and having some fun. And Damien, most of all, thank you, buddy, for making yourself.
No worries. Yeah. Just make sure you don't forget to mute me if I just start talking too much.
No, we're gonna mute everybody but you, and we're gonna have a little fun, the two of us. And I'm thankful also for all of you that submitted questions. I see Dustin up there up in NorCal. Awesome to have you. And Curtis out of Grover Beach area. Awesome, great to have you. And quite a few friends. Keith, where you give us a shout out. Where are you out of?
San Diego.
That's
San Diego
State,
State.
right? Perfect. We got pretty good representation here locally, but we also have folks on from Brazil, Australia, and I'll go through all the list in a little bit. We have over a dozen countries represented on this call, which will be fun. So this is being recorded, if you guys don't mind. Keep on your faces and all that fun stuff, and then we'll also publish the link out on our Facebook page for Surfers Unite once this, gets downloaded and all that stuff. We'll try to make us all look good. And believe me, I'm going to need more editing on myself on that one. So we'll give it one more minute and we'll get things rocking on that stuff. That way I can let Damo back to his family matters.
No, I just think I need a little exercise. I'm going to get a little exercise out here.
Yeah, I like that. Exercise. I know that my buddy Gary and Jack have seen my buddy Leo wear the shirt that says exercise. I thought you said extra fries.
That's my problem.
It looks like Damien's paddling right now, Brett. Is he paddling somewhere?
Dude, I'm going. Didn't see that?
If he is, his right foot's going forward for us goofy footers.
You see that? I'm just getting ready.
Nice.
Getting ready to go balls.
There we go. Well, good. We're going to keep adding some friends here. I'm going to just go ahead and welcome you guys to the Living a Blessed Life with Damien Hobgood. That was a title that I thought would make it appropriate. This, of course, is being brought to you by Surfers Unite Rotarian Fellowship. My name, of course, is Brett Morey, founder of Surfers Unite, and I'm pleased to be here with former World Championship Tour competitor, surfer, and great guy, Damien Hobgood. Welcome, Damo.
Thanks for putting the great guy in the last part of it.
Yeah, you can pay me later, brother. So before we jump right into a bunch of questions, and I call it story time with Damo, I think, I want to go over just a couple housekeeping items. I definitely want to welcome some of our big kahunas. I've got Phil White down in Cronulla, Australia with us. I'm hoping that we'll have Dr. Roger Magnosa joining us out of San Clemente. I know that we should expect to see Vince Ponce out of Carlsbad, who surfs on our 100 wave challenge team for Degree 33 surfboards, and a handful of others. But Butch Francisco will be joining us from the Philippines. That'll be like 6 in the morning or something ridiculous. I don't remember. And then also, I think John Roseman's going to be chiming in as well. And if you guys don't know John, you obviously don't know Tabarua. But I am stoked to have added him on board to our Big Kahuna Lifetime members. And he's a member of the Rotary Club La Jolla Sunrise. So anyway.
What, you're on a Big Kahuna Lifetime member? I didn't get that.
We will make you one, buddy. I might have to do honor if I'm not taking your money, honey. That or I'll ask Charlotte for the check. Either way.
Dude,
so
I need
first,
the Big Kahuna one.
Yeah, I know. Hey, who wouldn't want to be on board with that? So first of all, if you've already submitted a question, no need to use the chat for that one. But do use the chat right now to let us know what city and state or country you're in, and that way everyone kind of sees the diversity that we're bringing into this conversation. That'll also give you something to do with your fingers, right? So go ahead and throw that in the chat where you're at. I will be moderating today's discussion. It's our mutual goal to make this super fun and interactive. Believe me, if it's too much structure, we're going to throw it over my shoulder because I don't think Damien can handle that. Second of all, we do want to make sure that everybody feels included. So do welcome one another. If someone happens to chime in from a town or city or country you've been in, drop them a line and tell them, kind of connect with them that way. I am so excited that we also have a number of people joining us from around the world that English is not their primary language. And quite honestly, I'm almost proficient in English. I married a teacher, for crying out loud. But my Spanish apparently isn't the same as Portuguese. Go figure, right, Tiago? So anyway, second, I'm also super humbled that Damo has taken time out of his busy schedule, his commitments with work and other matters. But I also am super thrilled that not everybody on this call is part of Rotary International, and maybe we'll learn a little bit about that. We do have some club members joining from over a dozen countries. Some of you, of course, know what Rotary does in your communities. You may not know what Rotary International even is, and that's fine. First of all, to break any myths, Rotary International is not just a club for old guys. Actually, nothing could be further from the truth. Most of our clubs have about 50% women in Rotary, which is good. Otherwise, it'd be a bunch of people sitting around talking about doing nothing. And in fact, our 2022 Rotary International president with over 1.2 million members in over 200 countries is a wonderful lady I've met times, Jennifer Jones. So let me go ahead and I'll mute us here, and then we'll keep things going on that. There we go. All right, and make sure I'm there. Okay, good. Rotary International is an international service organization that brings together professional and civic-minded leaders in order to provide humanitarian service, advancing goodwill and peace around the world. Rotary is a non-political and non-religious organization open to all. Respectfully, in Rotary, we put aside our differences in political ideas or religion to get down to helping one another. And Surfers Unite Rotarian Fellowship is an official Rotary fellowship with members in 32 plus countries who engage in fun and relevant projects related to learn to surf events, clean waterways and shorelines while sharing the Aloha spirit. That being said, be sure to check out our website, surfersunite.org, for more info and get involved and drop us a line anytime at our email address. Well, into the commercial on that. Let's get down to this, and I'm gonna make sure that we have Damo on to go ahead and unmute yourself, Damo, so you can talk, buddy.
Okay, bango. I thought I was unmuted the whole time.
literally, the best part of all this is that we didn't even rehearse that. We got it right. And anyway, so I'd like to jump right in and have Damo tell a little bit about himself for the two people on this Zoom call that don't know who he is. Is that even possible? Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, my name is Damien Hobgood. I'm originally from Satellite Beach, Florida. Been in San Diego for about 15, maybe 20 years. Love to surf. I love my family. Yeah, and I love people. I think relationships are all we really have, and I hold those dear. And yeah, I get stoked on life, stoked on people.
I love it. And to that point, go ahead and use the reactions feature there on your chat too. Thank you for that. Go ahead and show like a show of hands if you've seen the movie If To by Sea. Now, if you haven't, just a shameless plug for Damo on that one, and CJ. It was a great film, kind of a nice little documentary. It helps kind of understand what life was like growing up and all that stuff. And I'm just wondering how many rolls of duct tape your parents actually had at home to keep you civilized in the bedroom there.
Well, it depended on how much you were fighting or not fighting. Some months was kind of bad. Some months was, maybe we didn't even use it.
Did you have any particular favorite moments in putting together that film, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, definitely was the trip I took to G-Land, CJ. We'd never done a trip together, just him and I. We'd also never gone to G-Land, and yeah, it was just, it just kind of everything came together. The waves were insane, and yeah, it was one of those things we kind of dreamt about from like a young age, and and just to kind of have it all come together at the end of our careers is pretty cool.
Really awesome. And to that, if you can download that off of Amazon and iTunes, anything that is your favorite. If you go to our website page, one of the things I put up during the pandemic is I realized a lot of us were kind of like stuck at home. We weren't traveling, all that stuff. I put a movie link out there. So this is one of the movie links. It's right up there with Endless Summer and other classics out there for sure on that sort of stuff. So check that out on our movie page and what have you. And if you have questions about that, you can put that in the chat, and I'm sure we'll revisit that in a little bit. So I wanted to ask you, you mentioned CJ, obviously having met him as well over the years. Honestly, how sick was it competing against your identical twin brother over the years? Was it more fun competing against CJ when you guys were in NSSA or at the WSL level?
Well, for us, it never really changed. Because it always felt the same, like when we were competing on like the NSSA or like just like a little local contest. But obviously it looked a lot different to other people, because it was on a bigger stage. But I don't know, I really enjoyed competing against my brother, because we could really do anything, like anything could fly, and we just were like, there's really nothing that would surprise us, just because we'd battled so much, whether it was free surfing or at a little local contest. And so I think sometimes it was a little hard for maybe people to understand kind of how we acted towards each other in heats.
I saw some water slapping going on at some points.
Yeah, and yelling at each other and just getting all fired up, and but we always had this understanding that it was just like when it was done with, it was done.
Yeah.
We'd blown up on each other enough times in our lives to be like, yeah, whatever. He's having a bad day or whatever, and just he'll be over with it and within 10, 15 minutes.
Well, I love that you guys still get together as families, and obviously family is a huge important part of that nucleus. It's not that you had a riff and are living on different coasts for different reasons. So right on. I did want to say, were there any favorite destinations? Some of these questions I'll sprinkle in too are coming from other people. Are there any favorite destinations that professional surfing afforded you? How about favorite adventures for the Hobgood tribe in particular?
I mean, of course, all the events allowed us to go places that we probably would have never went. Surfing allowed me so many friendships and relationships and adventures that probably wouldn't happen if it wasn't for surfing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we we started on tour with ourselves, and we started having families, and the families came on tour. And towards the end, we kind of got low on money, and then we had to go solo. And then for me, it was like, my kids are in school. I should probably move on from the tour life and spend some more time with them. And so, yeah, that's kind of what it was for me. But I mean, we had a lot of great adventures.
Well, and if I'm not mistaken, it's 14 years on tour, right? So, I mean, you're competing against the best surfers in the world from 2000 to 2013. That takes a toll on yourself as well.
Well, I mean, kinda. I think mainly where it started taking a toll was when my kids were in school. I think my daughter was like 8 or 9, and then I was just like, man, I gotta stop doing this tour because she'll probably be 13 or 14 by the time I finish, and by then she's gonna want to go do her thing, and I'm gonna miss that window and maybe not be able to experience that such special time in her life. So I was kind of, by the time I had that realization, I was kind of already out the back door and just wanted to spend a lot of time with the kids, and always knew that, work's not going anywhere. I'll be able to work. I'll figure something out. And so, yeah, that's kind of what had me moving on.
Right on. Well, good. Well, we've got a few questions from the studio audience. One came into mind is from our good friend and fellow brother Trevor Berge of Degree 33 Surfboards. He wrote, "What's the heaviest single wave you've ever surfed? Describe the experience."
Yeah, I mean, they're all, a lot of different heavy elements, that are characterized in certain places. But yeah, I mean, definitely probably Nazare. I would, if I had to put it down to one, just because there's a lot of elements that can get you caught in really bad places.
Yep.
That don't allow for the exit or someone to come get you or to kind of get out of it that easy. So that's probably one of the main one that sticks out.
Did you go with our buddy Eric Ribier?
Eric is a longtime friend. And a couple of sessions, of course, he was there, and a couple of sessions he might have been there, and I don't even remember. So, yeah, he's usually there when it was good.
Yeah.
Although I haven't been in a few years, so.
Well, with the great fortune of having spent a month in Europe and had a chance to actually surf Portugal, I think it was a recommendation of going up to Ericeira that we ended up there, but it was the connection with Tiago, who's joining us with Lisbon Emotions. If you guys are ever headed to Portugal, make sure to check in with Tiago and get the down low on that, on adventure tourism when that returns after COVID. But he took us to Eric's house. We picked up wetsuits and boards and went out with him for a day. And that by far was the highlight for my son and I, surfing the Atlantic in 6 to 8 foot conditions, cold water. Given the fact that we had just come from Paris and headed to the south of France and what have you, but it was epic. And it's been fun to host my Portuguese brothers since then. So born July 6th, 1979, my friend, you're going to be getting a birthday coming up here soon. What was the most insane surfing victory in your eyes? What stands out? And I'd say for me, when I look at your career, buddy, I mean, the 19.9 score at the 2004 Quicksilver Pro has to be up there knocking out AI on that deal. What do you think?
Yeah, that was definitely probably one of the more special ones for me. But it was more along the lines of, I kind of felt like Andy was one of the best guys there, and and to have an opportunity to surf with them and put on a good performance. And I think the most thing about it was just how gracious and how stoked he was that I won. I was able to, right after the heat, we went back to Tavarua, and I was able to go to his bure with Lindy, and we just, kind of just chatted about life and the event. And yeah, it's pretty special for me.
Yeah, definitely. That's great. And of course, it's almost like asking a race car driver what was your favorite victory, and it's like, I've raced for how many years and how many tracks, right? So it's like it comes down to the event, it comes down to the people you're with, and then the memories that really stood out from that. That's phenomenal.
Totally.
So a lot of the times I always look at it this way, most of us, I'd say, are, surfing has always been a hobby. Some of us 30 plus, 35 plus years, but it's like, we do it for fun. And it's hard to, it certainly describes me. I grew up in Encinitas and I graduated from San Diego. So it's fun when you and I've talked about, high school and your kids and all that stuff. But it's like when people would ask me, so did you compete on the San Diego surf team? I'm like, no, as a goofy footer, we had Ron Machado. They did not need my talent because nothing else could be possibly better than him. But, knowing both you and CJ, traveled the globe in high school with Rusty as your sponsor at the time. What was your surf team like back in the day, back in Florida?
We didn't really have a surf team.
Okay.
Florida,
nothing like that?
Obviously Slater was just putting surfing on the map, but it wasn't like California, where there was surfing was like accepted and kind of very big. So no, I mean, we didn't have a surf team, but we had a surf shop.
Okay.
That we kind of like got all the groms that were at the surf shop, and we try to get together and kind of do like a surf practice. I guess that was probably like the closest thing that we had.
Okay. So it's kind of like a West Coast board riders or NCS board riders kind of club, kind of a deal.
Yeah, you know, it's just I don't know if it was just a place where people kind of gathered, and obviously at the surf shop, and then from there we were just like, oh, let's go do like a little run some surf heats, or yeah, we just kind of get together and go to the beach and do a little surf off of some sort, and that's kind of what it was for us, and it was cool.
Right.
You know, it definitely wasn't quite like the surf school or the surf team, but it was, I mean, it was good enough for us. We didn't know any different.
Yeah. You know, and to that point, you're right. It is unique. You know, here we have like, you know, La Jolla, Point Loma, San Diego, La Costa, all these, you know, Torrey Pines, they all have surf teams. And then there's surf clubs for other, you know, other schools as well. But, you know, not everyone's going to take those into their college years or beyond, right? Just kind of, you know, something to do. Even surf PE is something that we had at San Diego back in those days. Is that something that Savannah or others of your, you know, family might pursue, or?
I've tried.
Yeah.
But no, I've been really too successful.
Yeah. It's just fun just to go out. It's fun to get in the water. I know just seeing you and your boy out there in the water is fun. So what else have you been involved with, Damo? Tell us a little bit about, you know, the shift, if you will. I mean, that's a huge part, is that shift of, okay, I'm gonna leave the tour life behind. Now I got to pursue, you know, a career and do that. So tell us, you know, kind of catch us up on that if you could, pal.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's definitely been a process for me. You know, it didn't really happen overnight. I definitely wanted to fall back in love with surfing, and so I felt like I needed to, you know, find a job and a career outside of surfing, just because I felt like I would just keep looking at surfing as like a job or a thing that maybe like that I could try to get something out of, which I just felt like if I had those kind of pressures, I would never fall back in love with surfing. So that was definitely a conscious effort for me to move outside surfing. Not that I was not still cheerleading for everyone else, and not really just trying to give back to surfing what it gave me, which was so much. And I figured through that lens, I could really fall back in love with surfing again. Because when I got off tour, it was really hard for me. I didn't really love it. I didn't really have that desire, but I wanted that. And I figured that was how I could get that love back, was obviously by giving.
Yeah. You know, I think so much of the time that, you know, all of us on this call, I mean, from people all around the world, people with many years of wisdom and experience. I see our Vice President, Ian Masterson on Oahu, throwing some shakas out there. He's a surf professor of Oahu. You know, most of us, we go through these career changes, but because we're not on some world stage, it's like not noticeable other than our closest friends who know, hey, I'm going to reinvent myself by, you know, doing this, you know, deal. I've had friends who've gone from like financial services to becoming firefighters. You know, it's like pretty radical departure, but it's like, you're not being measured because, again, nobody really knows. And if they're your close friend, they're just going to be encouraging to the most part. Right. So like, how has your faith kind of guided you in that process, if you don't mind my asking? Because I mean, it's important that you kind of share, like, things I admire about you as a friend is that, you know, you're really sincere when it comes down to, you know, being good to others and what have you, and sharing, you know, what drives you. So tell us a little bit about that, how faith is guiding those adjustments for you.
Yeah, and it's usually trial by error, you know. So don't think like I got it figured out. It's a lifelong process. And hold on.
Got it.
Hold on a second. Did it work? I think I went to.
You were there, and then you're back. You're gone to back to me.
I think my phone kind of. Let's see here.
There you are.
Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, went on the black screen there. So yeah, I mean, it was really just the really concept of like, hey, if I'm gonna, there's really no way that I'm gonna fall back in love with surfing if I'm just looking what it can give me, what exchange I can have. Which if I do this, then surfing will give me this. So I just really just through faith, which was like, well, no, what are you giving? Like, what are you pouring into something? What are you offering it without nothing in return? Which will really, be what I need to do, to really have that love for something. I think so many times we're given this blessing, whether it's a job, a wife, awesome career, but then we kind of end up holding it really tight and really going, well, now what can it give me? It's given me this so many years and it's been such a blessing, but then you kind of just take it for granted and you're like, oh no, it owes me this. Like, I deserve this. Like, and really in that sense, you kind of, for me, I just was like, I realized I was doing that in different parts of my life and I was really just choking it out, like choking out my career, choking out my relationships with people through thinking like I was gonna get something, like, and so I really had to take notice on what I was doing, and then through that I was able to fall back in love with surfing, and that was in sense through my faith, because it was like it's like it's really what you're giving and what you're showing up to bring to the table, not what you're gonna get.
Well, and I know that having a really good time of serving with alongside you and others. I see some of the faces that are joining this call right now, even, and many of us have had a chance to work with you and the surfing community on events like City to Surf, taking inner city kids surfing with Hope Leadership Academy, which is a faith-based organization here in San Diego. But this is a great opportunity of giving back. I mean, I remember just sitting there and just admiring the joy of Savannah, your daughter, being in the water with her friends and with you and helping these kids from Southeast San Diego. But also, things that you and I've done through the 100 Wave Challenge for Boys to Men. I mean, those that have been participating in the 100 Wave Challenge can also use their raise hand function there. And I know we've got quite a few supporters on this, which I am very grateful to have you guys and gals on as well. How have these nonprofits made the impact in your life, Damien? I mean, how has that kind of been driving you lately?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. It's it was kind of along those same lines of like, what can I give back? Where can I help? And then through that, you kind of think you're showing up to help, and with that frame of mind and that open heart, you actually really learn like, I'm gonna get more than I ever imagined, and yeah, realistically, these between like Boys to Men and Surf Aid, and really just trying to give back, but in the real sense, I've received so much through these organizations and through that lens of just trying to give, and really that's where I feel like I've received so much.
Yeah, fantastic. And I don't know what drew you into Boys to Men mentoring, but I'm going to throw it out here right now because Mark Chu from the Canary Islands is on, and him and I go way back to my career with Honda when he was working with them on the media side before he went into the surf industry side. But he introduced me to Trevor at Degree 33, and next I know I'm surfing 100 waves and spending 6 to 7 hours, flailing my arms out there in the water. How did you get linked up with Boys to Men? Because I mean, it's been really fun to see the progression of some of the other pro surfers coming in with your help.
Yeah, it was actually through the Switchfoot Bro-Am is a contest that Switchfoot does, which is really just to give back to San Diego. And I just really showed up with a friend of mine, like, yeah, like, I love these guys, I love what they're doing. Like, how can I get involved and how can I get plugged in? And one of the nights they have before the contest where like they invite all these different nonprofits that help out the city, and they all kind of come together, and you get introduced to them. And so I was just getting introduced to these, and I was like, whoa, like, and certain ones, really just speak to you. Other ones don't. It doesn't mean that any of them are like better than the other, but just Boys to Men spoke to me, and then I ended up meeting Joe, and like the rest is history from there. It just was something that really I was able to identify with. I was able to really, feel like, hey, this is the cornerstone of a lot of issues that a lot of people go through with not having a father figure in their life. And so, it was just one of the ones that I felt like I could, not only could I give a lot, but then it was also going to really, really speak to me.
Yeah, fantastic, buddy. And for those of you who aren't as familiar, Boys and Men Mentoring, which actually has 30 plus chapters around the world, but it actually started here in La Mesa, Spring Valley, is a wonderful organization that works with over 850 local middle school and high school students in our county alone. And these are young men that are at-risk youth that either been involved in gangs or have had other type of academic challenges. They're growing up in a household without a positive male role model. And so this year, not only did Damien and Charlotte, his wife, and others that I served with there on the committee, how we were going to transform this one-day event into a 2-month-long transformational opportunity for teams to paddle out and raise money for this organization. I would say it was the most successful ever. We raised over $500,000 for this nonprofit this year. Degree 33 team hit over 50, so that was pretty hot. And then of course the fact that we were able to be able to support these kids in this program, this kind of leadership development, if you will, and mentorship of positive male role models, has been really phenomenal. So it was really fun to plan it, but also kind of create a framework. And you mentioned the Bro-Am, that's a really good one. I did have the chance, we've been supporting the Bro-Am for years personally, since I've known John and Tim since they were in middle school. And at the same time, we've been supporting it through Surfers Unite as a great extension, for Rotary to kind of be on the sand as volunteers. The last few years, we've had anywhere from 35 to 50 volunteers for that one-day event, 15 to 17,000 people on the beach. And, you raised $220,000 for 6 different charities. This year, just so everybody knows, it's on our events page. It will be a virtual event again. And just like last year, the boys are going to do a concert event, and that will benefit groups like A Step Beyond, Challenge Athletes Foundation, Feeding San Diego, and the list goes on. Monarch School, which actually helps benefit homeless kids. And I know Mr. P over there, the principal, great guy. So it goes without saying, you and Charlotte have been on the planning team and all that stuff. So please tell her hi. For those of you who don't know your lovely wife, talk about over-marrying. If you had to describe yourself as a piece of furniture, how would you describe yourself?
A day bed.
A day bed. Perfect. So you're multifunctional?
Yep.
I was going with recliner, but Charlotte's super high energy. Obviously a great contrast at times, but how many years together now?
14.
Solid, buddy. I think she's a keeper, buddy.
Yeah. One of the day back is like I'm ready. I can take a nap, and then I'm ready to get going too.
I like it.
That's what I was thinking.
Total spontaneity. I love that about you.
Yeah.
So what do your day-to-day activities look like now? Obviously you're a husband, father, businessman, a bit different than the old globe trotting and all that stuff of 40 plus weeks a year and all the year. So what's the day-to-day look like for the life of Damo if you're
it's I think it's kind of normal. I'm in the financial services industry, just help these advisors out. So that's like my main job. And then, I just kind of cheerlead for the surf community. I help Salty Crew out a little bit. You know, that's, yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. Mainly just trying to be there for my family and be there for the kids and doing fun things. I'm usually like going out dirt biking on the weekends with my son, trying to surf during the weekdays after school with my daughter, going to the playground with my youngest daughter. Yeah, nothing that is, you know, I definitely don't travel near as much, but I still try to every once in a while, you know?
Right.
And yeah, just trying to work on my relationships.
Right on. Well, and I think that's a really unique aspect. I remember Mark, I'm going to pick on Mark Chu here on this one. I remember him and Lydia were down visiting us, and we ran into Trevor Hoffman and his lovely wife. Of course, Trevor played for the Padres and was a front office manager at that point. But it's funny, you know, here, you know, we're talking as families because we've known them in the community for quite a number of years. And as they're leaving, you know, people are trying to get their photographs with them. And finally, you know, Mark goes, "Who was that?" I go, "Oh, nothing, just a Major League Baseball player, you know, Gold Glove winner, you know, MVP, Hall of Famer. Don't worry about it." But, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you have a job, and that job is on that, you know, world stage. But at the end of the day, you're just a husband, a father, and a good guy, a guy you'd want to have as your neighbor. Put it that way. I think so. At least if it wasn't, if it didn't work out, we'd just move. No big deal.
Yeah.
So I know Todd Juneau, and I hope that Todd's on. I don't see him just yet, but I know that my buddy Todd, him and I, we surfed together 30 years ago, and he wrote me about how to gain. He wanted to find out, how do you gain the confidence if you grew up in Florida? How do you get the confidence to take off on breaks like Chopu? And what really happens when you fall in a wave of consequence like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I did travel at a pretty young age because the waves were so bad in Florida. I definitely think that helped. And then also not really ever seeing waves like that. So just thinking like, well, if I don't give it a shot, I might never get this opportunity again. I think those are probably a couple main motivating factors. And when you fall and eat it, obviously on those waves, there's definitely is, you know, can be more consequences. Not always, you know, sometimes you get spit out the back, or sometimes you go, well, I don't know how I missed hitting the bottom there, but I'll take it, you know. But then obviously other times you can hit pretty hard, and, you know, it kind of can make you kind of rethink some things sometimes, but more times than not, you just try to forget about it and move on.
Yeah. Were there some specific like training techniques that you were utilizing that was really helpful, you thought?
Not really, but when you fall enough, you kind of learn how to fall.
Stay loose.
Yeah, I don't know really exactly. No, you're just awareness under the water, like, just becomes a lot better on how to like try to land with your feet, you know, not with your head down. And yeah, I don't really, you know, it really was hard to explain, but I definitely got better over the years.
Right on. Well, we're glad you made it through it. I know you're not done surfing big waves, what have you, but I'll tell you what, at my age, at 48, anything over 8 foot is a no-go for me. The days of 12 to 16 foot down in Mexico, done. Not going back for it. Tiago Santos Matos, my buddy in Lisbon, from Lisbon Emotions, wrote, "How was your experience in Portugal?"
Oh, I had some great times in Portugal. Yeah, I mean, it was probably one of my favorite countries over there. It was just some really rad people. I ended up making some really good relationships over there, and just and surfing some really fun waves. You know, most of the times there's not too many people around, and they were just, you know, really stoked on surfing. So I got a lot of really good memories of Portugal. I know when you were talking about that earlier, I was thinking about some of them, and yeah, I've always loved Portugal.
Yeah, beautiful people, beautiful country, and really affordable, honestly.
Yeah, it's probably one of the more underrated countries in Europe, you know, if you're a surfer.
So it's funny, as I was putting this together, and I'm so thankful to see all of your faces that are on, is that I didn't realize that when Tiago and his cousin and friends were staying with us, they ran into you in Encinitas when they came over. They were here for the Hurley Pro 2014. I'm really thrilled to have Trestles back this year. Is that a particular break, Damo, that you really like, as far as Sano and all that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great spot. It was definitely a spot that I always kind of struggled in, I felt. Probably wasn't my favorite event just because I never really, I think I got quarters a couple of times, but never really did that good. So it was fun, but I never really was like, oh, can't wait for lowers. It was never like that.
I've kind of felt the same way when Gary's drug me out of churches out there. But I know that some people live and die by Sano. I mean, look at the amount of international surfers that we have seen move to San Clemente in the last 20 years, much less the last 15. It's unbelievable. I mean, the whole world has moved to San Clemente because of that break and the ability to, garner waves at any given time. I guess that's why I choose back up there. So, yeah, this is good stuff. I've got a few minutes for some open questions. If somebody wants to throw those things out, unmute yourself, do that. And then we're going to finish up with the lightning round, and that will be a hoot. So go ahead and unmute yourself if you want to throw a little softball to Damo.
Damien, do you and CJ hang out still?
Sure. Anytime we can. He's in Florida, I'm out in California, so obviously doesn't happen as much as we'd like, but I mean, he comes out for salty crew stuff a lot, and anytime he's in the area we can, or I'll go back to Florida.
I meant you and CJ at the movie premiere.
Audio's dropping there.
Yeah, we really enjoy it. Although it might only happen like 3 or 4 times a year. What's that?
They do boat meetups, right? You go fishing with the crew, salty crew, and Fish 101.
Yeah, we go fishing a lot. Surfing if there's waves. Yeah.
Thanks, Keith, for that question.
Hold on.
Perfect.
Hey, Damo, it's Mark here. I got your board in the back. Besides Brett,
I want that board back, dude. Where's my board at?
It's right here. You got to come get it. The Canaries.
Let's stay at the Oasis.
Dude, I just gotta go to.
There you
I just gotta go to the
I got a room
Canaries
for
and
everybody.
that's
I wanted to know, besides Brett, who's your favorite guy to surf with in the water?
it. Favorite guy to surf with? What?
Who's your favorite person to surf with in the water?
My daughter.
That's it.
Yeah.
Great answer.
That's it. Mark, you only got a couple more years till you take your little one out, and then you'll have another one to join your lineup out there.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hiring Damo to be her coach.
Oh, there you go. Good idea.
Thank you.
Good idea. All right, got time for a couple more questions, and we'll finalize this. Go ahead. Thanks, Mark, for that question. Going once, going twice. Ian, you got anything from Oahu for me on that?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, we got you, brother.
Coming in from Kaava.
Nice.
Damo, you've been all around the world surfing as part of your life. You've talked about how much it means to you. And I just kind of wanted to ask you, I asked a lot of my students, what does surfing mean to you? And if you've ever really thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it means a lot to me, but it was really just the gateway to seeing and meeting a lot of really cool people and learning a lot of really awesome cultures and just opening my eyes to the world. So it was a tool that was that hopefully I used to the fullest to be able to experience all these things.
Right on. Great question and great answer. I like it. So
Thank you very much. That's really neat.
if some of you haven't listened to the Dave Proden show, the podcast, The Lineup, you will after this. Not only is it super entertaining as he reaches out to people in the surf industry, but also past and former world champs and people who have competed on the stage. I know that today dropping is Jordy Smith, which is a fun interview. So in honor of Dave Proden, who I enjoy listening to that, I've got the following, what I call, and I already prepped Damien to at least know it's coming. He doesn't know the questions. I've got the lightning round. Oh, yes. Can you hear that? Oh, yes. All right. So in the lightning round, these are 10 questions, Damo. You got to answer these fast. And I know you're throwing out the ADD part, so I'll try to keep you on target with this. Damo, in honor of your time together, here you go, buddy. All right, 10 questions. One board setup for the rest of your life. Single fin, twin fin, thruster, quad, bonzer, or finless. What would it be?
Quad.
Oh, you surprised me on that one. All right, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
There you go. Burrito or pizza?
Burrito.
Good. Last book you read?
Oh, okay. The Bible.
I like it. Best surf film ever?
In the summer.
That's a classic. I thought you'd say Momentum Generation, but there you go. I was thinking if 2 by Sea, but then again, that might be a little shameless plug again. I was also expecting when I brought that up, you'd say great film but terrible acting.
Yeah.
So what one wave you never have to go back to? What would that be?
I don't know. Gosh, I think there's kind of a few of them if you'd imagine.
You're thinking I broke my equipment. I'm going home.
I was thinking more like waves that just sucked. I've had said that before, so that's why I was trying to think of where did I said that at? Like, dude, I'll be fine if I never come back here again. Usually it was just some like pedally point break that's just super weak. I'll say like, yeah, I don't need that anymore in my life.
Yeah, there you go. That sounds like me paddling out at Swami's. I don't need that anymore. Only get to surf one wave for the rest of your life. Where would that be?
Gosh, I've also said that before.
Tahiti.
Yeah, Tahiti is definitely on the one I don't need. It'd be like a wedge, left wedge.
Foot.
There you go. Something steep and nasty, right?
Yeah, just a left wedge. So all it has to have is like this wedge effect, and I that can serve it forever.
We'll see you at Sunset Cliffs. So best person to share the lineup with? I think you already answered that. That would be Miss Savannah.
Yeah.
All right. So who's the worst person to share the lineup with?
A pro surfer.
any one of them.
I'm trying to keep names out of
you're
everything.
Such a gentleman, buddy. You are such a gentleman. So finish this sentence. I will next create a state of happiness by giving. I love it. Damien, thanks so much for being on with us. It's been a thrill, and totally look forward to getting water and hanging out with you and everything. So best to you guys. We have recorded this Zoom. It will be out on the Facebook page. Round of applause, standing O. Too much rock for one hand, all that good stuff. Throw some chakas out there. I'm so glad you guys came. And
thanks, guys.
As we move forward to this, thanks, Damon. We've got some fun stuff happening. So just so you know, go to our events page. You'll see some of our upcoming events. Also make sure to put some of the links for the Tokyo Games. Of course, surfing will be in this Tokyo Olympics, which is exciting. And a little shout out and plug to our good friend, Fernando Aguirre, who's the president of ISA, for all of his hard work to get that blessed with the IOC, the International Olympic Committee. We also have some service projects like the Laguna Kahuna coming up at Agua Hirionda up in Carlsbad. So look for that April 30th through about the 3rd week of May. It'll be a Friday cleanup event, opportunities to volunteer there. This weekend in Florida, we actually have a cleanup event going on for any of you on the East Coast. And of course, the Switchfoot Pro-Am, as I mentioned earlier, has been moved as a virtual event. So keep checking our page, keep supporting what we're doing as we help to extend our help to urban surfer kids and other organizations here locally and across the world. So thanks for being on with us. Have an awesome day. And Shaka's out. I'll take a screenshot.
Thanks, Brett. Great job. Go surf.
You.
Mahalo, Brett. Mahalo, Damo.
Thanks, Ian.
Right on, you guys. Talk to you.
Later.
Is good.
Bless you guys.
Aloha.
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 Much love. Show me love.
Thanks for being on.
Yeah, no, I forgot. I was in a board meeting. A green room board meeting.
A literal board meeting.
Oh,
Love the background, Ian.
oh, it was epic out there.
Bye, Della.
Look at that.
Bye, Della.
Thanks, Brett.
Thanks, Joel, for being on, brother.
Hey, see this? I drew this during the
Thanks,
meeting.
Dr. Haas.
Looking forward to the next one, Brett.
Yeah, nice. Oh, very cool. Hey, is that me? Because you painted the abs on. I appreciate that. Thanks, Phil, for joining us.
I'll email it to you.
Awesome. Audio.
Thank you.
We'll see you.